Let there be peace and love. Welcome to Satsang. The state of a still mind is appearing when the mind doesn't search anymore. When he deeply understood that it's not running after or gaining or accomplishing some ideal or idea, that the deepest question or feeling of a loss or separation will be solved. It's a state, so it belongs still to time. So it will appear sometimes and disappear sometimes. So here, the concept of that this still mind should one day, when I'm more serious or worth or matured, whatever idea one has of himself, should be permanent. That will be the end. This will never happen. This is just an idea. An idea coming from the logic of the mind. So to still the mind, not as a state, to still the mind is when the owner, I, who was taken for real, lost its royalty. Lost its reality. How? Says I and the mind. Just keep still. Don't grasp how. Don't grasp the concept that something is wrong, that you are bound or enlightened. And that is no more a state. That is an indication to say that there is nobody there, or somebody appears but has simple appearance, to give value to whatever appears, to whatever is suggested by the mind or by the body. If it is not clear, if you want to know, to hear more about it, please ask. Ask is your birthright. You have not to delay. Life is short. It's urgent. And whatever you think you will solve at the time of death, it's when you can solve it now. It's always now. Who you are really is here now. It's a way to say, it's not in time, just to say that it's always there. The moment your mind is still, the moment the mind is surrendered to from where it could appear, the moment you don't think. And things are put at their proper place. When you think, it is for something. It is not to realize yourself. Voilà. If any but or if are crowding your mind, you have to expose, you see, because one is seeing by his own experience then that then what looked like an identification is actually just an objectification, and you are not an object. What's your name?
Lei. So much music.
Yeah. Good. When you can, you tell me something. Yes. You see, the search of the self to be freed from illusions is very happy. To hear what it needs to hear.
Yes. I know I'm free. I feel like I know it.
Yeah.
And this play, it's still... I don't even know what to ask.
Yeah, or describe a little bit. You know you are free. Is there anything to add?
And I also feel that the mind still wants to shape it.
Yeah, okay. But you see it.
Mm-hmm.
So don't go there. It appears, let it pass. Don't go there. Otherwise you will again entertain your mind. It's easy. Tell me more if you like. Huh? How did you come?
It's a long story. It's just a series of synchronicities, I would say.
Okay. Okay. Mysterious are the ways how one can find a way in the jungle to just where he needs to be. It's amazing.
And I really wanted to speak to you because I feel all my life it feels like this thing about the relationship between a teacher and a student was the most hurtful and confusing thing for me. And so I just feel so happy that I can actually say this right now.
Yes, I'm happy to hear that. Don't worry. Where you suffer, there is some fault. Something, maybe from you or from the other. It's the mind, you see. It's the mind. And I tell you, this link, which is the most intimate between a student, disciple and a master, a guide, who points towards yourself, can never bind you. So don't be afraid of that. It can never bind you. It's to free you from the power or the suggestions of your mind. Still, if you like, you can always speak, because it must be that there has been a doubt, maybe a doubt. So don't listen to your doubt. And don't be bound by an image, a name, a form. You can take that. It happens sometimes in this journey that one stops at a guide, his help for a while, and then he feels he could go, he took the best he took from that place, but it is his right, if he's still unsatisfied, to search for another guidance, which may lead maybe more directly to yourself, because this is the goal of being a student. So in that way, take all those steps just as part of this journey, because you still believed in your mind. Yes. So just ask, who has got a journey, first of all? Who wants to be free? Do you have to go far away for that to get the answer? And keep quiet where you are still.
I feel like saying more. And I can see this is the person's play. That in this, if I heard you say on the tape, don't touch the past.
Yeah.
And so, actually, I can make that choice now and not to touch the past, not to touch the memory.
Yeah.
And just be quiet.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Yes.
That applies very well. It's a good information. Yes, exactly. Time is only time. What is time? Past, squeezed present between two and future. You know, don't go to past. Who are you then? Who are you? Stories are in the mind, in time. You see, it is your birthright to ask all the questions you need to ask here if you really have this fire for freedom. One has not to delay even for tomorrow. And if it is clear, then of course one just keeps quiet. But don't be uncompromising with the mind. If there is still something which looks like being needed to clear up, you have to tell. For everybody the same. Yes.
And you said at the beginning that a still mind is a state, or a mind without search.
Yeah.
And I find that I can say that there is no search in the sense that I don't believe in those thoughts of search.
Mm-hmm.
So I see those thoughts, but there is still a belief that there is one big step to make, which I'm not doing. So I see, still I believe in a separation from where you are and where I am.
And if you drop that idea, what happens? Huh? Just drop that idea now.
I have somehow this fear that if I drop this idea, then I will never make it. So this.
Yeah, but you see, the goal is not to be maintained as somebody having the desire for freedom. The goal is to just keep quiet in one's own self, which doesn't depend on ideas or feelings, doesn't depend on anything, doesn't depend even on a comparative projection. So whatever you lose, it was worth to lose. You cannot lose yourself.
This belongs to that one that I took myself for. All that.
This is the travel of the mind. It suggests all the time, and one, as he believes himself to be real, he believes in the reality of what is suggested, especially if you say, I'm so honest, I am authentic, this is like this and like this. Still you are fooled by your own mind. Because you believe that you are real. Who are you? Always go back there. Instead of solving something in the mind, go back to its root or to the base. The base. What is the base of the mind? If you don't wake up in this waking state, can you speak like this? So it is I. The root of this creation, manifestation, appearance, disappearance is I. I know if it appears and I know when it disappears. And this I takes itself for real. That's why it's never questioned, except in satsang. Because in satsang, it is to shake up, to shake what you think is real. So go and see. Is there any I somewhere? If you don't glue your mind, you go and see. Don't glue fear. Leave it behind.
Somehow I feel that I'm always like I hang on you as
a support.
Yes, like
Okay.
everything else is
But
fake. Everything
okay,
else
I am
belongs
your
to the-
support. But this support wants you now.
I know, and I'm just so much fixed on you. I don't even hear the words, so I don't do what you say because I don't want to let go.
Okay, then be overwhelmed by devotion. It's also a path. But you know, in devotion, at some point, but what my beloved is whispering, oh, he loves me, okay. You don't hear that? You see? You want to hear what he says to you at some point. At some point. Okay, I'm your support. Good. But I am also ephemeral, as a name and form. So better you take something I indicate.
What can I say? Yeah, with the mind, I think I do as much as I can with the mind. With my own tool, I do what you say. But when I speak to you, it feels that all that is even nothing or not real. All that what I can do.
Yeah. Okay.
When
Good.
I
Very
listen
good.
to your words,
Okay.
this all is
So stop.
still
Stop.
nothing.
Listen to my word. Stop. Stop. When you stop, whatever is left, that's what you are. It's real. When the mind reappears, you just know it's the mind. I don't try to solve anything in the mind. It's the mind. You are not what you see. It's simple. Very good. The great remedy for the long-lasting disease of samsara is the mind. Is the inquiry, who am I? To whom does this samsara belong? Which entirely cures it. It's clear. It's absolutely not a solution in the mind. A solution to a person. Solution is to keep quiet at once, and if it is not possible, second best is, who am I? Oh, that's good. Following the customary method of teaching, so tradition, is only for preserving the tradition. You have to pass through some stages, you have to purify yourself, you have to meditate, you have to remind yourself of the name of God and all that. It is for preserving the tradition. Pure awareness, what you are in reality, result from the clarity of the disciples' understanding. And what's the understanding? Keep quiet. The Lord cannot be seen, so the self, cannot be seen with the help of the sacred texts or the Guru. The self is seen by the self alone with the pure intellect. Pure intellect means an intellect which surrendered itself to its source. One day I will read more this Yoga Vashishta. I just give you some drops. Ah, this is really great. It is from Ashtavakra Gita. Janak is his own guru. What is it? Ashtavakra asked Janak. So Janak is the guru of Ashtavakra. I don't understand one word. Maybe somebody? Tongs. T-O-N-G-S.
Tongs, it's to take the coal from the fire. It's an iron thing to take.
Okay. So you pronounce it?
Tongs.
Okay. With the tongs of truth, I have plucked the thorn of thinking from the innermost cave of my heart. You see, thinking is a thorn. It's a painful, painful experience. Where is meditation, pleasure, discrimination? Where is duality? Where even is unity? I abide in the glory of myself. Where is past, future, or even present? Where is space, or even eternity? I abide in the glory of my own self. Where is self? Where is not self? Where is confusion and clarity? I abide in the glory of self. Where is sleeping, dreaming, waking, or even Turiya, the fourth state? Where is fear? I abide in the glory of myself. Where is close or far, in or out, gross or subtle? I abide in the glory of the self. Where is life and death? Where is the world and worldly relations? Where is distraction and stillness? I abide in the glory of the self. There is no need to talk about the three ends of life. To talk of yoga is purposeless even talking about truth is irrelevant. I rest in the self alone. After that, nice, beautiful. Yes.
I was for quite a while in the company of who. I was the who.
Yeah.
I could deal with everything, almost everything that the mind brought up. I was not afraid anymore for the mind. And then in an event, a recent event, I don't know exactly what happened, but I lost the who completely. And
In a fraction of a second.
And in
Stop. You see, when you ask who am I, the goal is not to stay in who. It is a tool. Actually, you do that to finally keep quiet prior your mind. Prior even this tool. Nothing happened, just stop. Otherwise you can all your life be sorry or again speak about something, your search, and that you lost it and that now you go back and this and that. You see? That mind is so tricky. So one has not to trust the mind. And when by chance one experiences that, oh, I've been tricked by my mind, it's a thought. Don't make a story. Just stop. Whatever you see, you are not. It belongs to the appearance. It's a phenomena, whatever you see. It's a phenomena. We are all phenomena. But that's why you see when you have this desire for freedom, though there is absolutely no practice of detachment and all that, but in a way it's even more demanding, because you see the self-investigation just cuts off the habit or the desires or the attachment to follow the mind. Wherever and whenever you are. And anyway the life continues, but then you know this is body-mind's story. I am not that. You see, that is a very uncompromising sadhana, after all. And that sadhana itself disappears when it becomes natural. It can take some time for most of us. It was very interesting. Maybe you know that. I didn't know, but I came to know. There was a Swami who lived with Ramana Maharishi more than 10 years. I didn't know that when he was in the caves. His name was Kunju Swami. And as long as he lived with Ramana, he didn't think. He was in the presence of Ramana. And at some point, I don't know if it was Ramana or whatever, but he was no more. So he was left alone with his desire for freedom. And then he started to have experiences he didn't have in the presence of Ramana, like I lost it or many things. You see? So you have never to trust the mind, even when the mind is in a state of stillness because of circumstances. That's what I mean. You cannot trust that this is it. Just know, oh look, I am now, I'm in a circumstances which is such. And I saw it even with my master. You see, in the beginning, for years, I was in his company, which I called, he himself said so, but I can tell it for myself. They were the golden days. There was no thinking, just living, as Zen say. You fetch woods and make fire and drink tea, and that was the most simple, sober life, because there was no separation with your own being. But as soon, after so many years, I was left by myself. Then it became a sadhana. Vigilance was necessary. What do I mean by that? I have no idea. Just to tell not to trust the mind. That's all.
Was that vigilance the mind again? Or was it...
No, it's wisdom.
Wisdom, yes.
To be vigilant, to be oneself, I think is utmost wisdom. It is not to be vigilant to be beautiful, or to seduce. It's vigilant not to fall into the trap of the mind. Yes. Yes.
So, self can be alone with vigilance. It doesn't mean
Self alone with vigilance.
vigilance.
What does it mean? Tell me.
So it doesn't mean the mind. There is a mind as an identification.
And what about if you drop that thought? I'm already very tired, it's complicated. Keep quiet. Yeah.
What happened when Papaji died? Like you told, like you were vigilant. What happened?
I would not have said it was vigilance.
Okay.
It was. I would want to tell you that story. It's a story, okay, which led to no story. I agree. No, you see. The death of the master, what does it mean? The master never dies, so one means is that name and form which was the support to free yourself. So what dies is the name and the form. But what stays is what he indicated. But because of this phenomenal death, an urgency was created, even though I thought I was a serious seeker. Welcome to Satsang. Even though I thought I was a serious seeker, but still tomorrow existed. So that urgency, knowing, whom else can I trust? I had no energy to trust a second time that much to anybody. This I knew. That was my love. So this had to be solved now. And how he was dying with those words that accompanied me all my life. Who am I? Not to be repeated 2 times. You wanted to know something more?
No, I see you told already. All the time.
The urgency, you see, it is like this in the mind because of the time. We come 4 times a week. So it becomes in time a beautiful style of life. I'm nothing against that. I think it is more, after all, intelligent than not to do it. But for some reason it creates time. So the urgency is watering down at times. So I remind you sometimes, wake up now. Wake up now, because it will always be that only. Wake up to yourself now. It's already there. So, for that, don't think. Where are you? Don't think. So satsang is like this, my dear children. It's quiet, sometimes there is some words as I tell to you sometimes, and sometimes there is a dialogue of somebody who would like not to suffer anymore. And so, for everybody there is a different answer to that, but it comes to, first of all, instead of being busy with the suffering, ask, who is suffering? Who is suffering? Then the mind will reply, most probably, I suffer. I said, I experienced that, So, who am I? And you keep quiet where this question finishes. Let's do that now. Just a second. Oh. Very good. You can go and play. You see, you are always yourself. It's because one waits for a big bang. It has already happened. You are always yourself. habits of the mind will continue. It's nothing to accept or reject. It's just like that. So don't confuse yourself for habits of the mind. Nothing to say? So you see, habits of the mind. When I call habits of the mind is when the fascination is gone. Because you can still see something and then you are fascinated by what you see. It's the mind. It's the mind. No, you are still hypnotized, you see. So there is one step too much already in the movement of the mind. So don't grasp movement of the mind. Let them appear as it is. It's even not under anybody's control. Because we based ourselves in body-mind, you see, so it looks like it's all the time there. Now you have to shift. It's not a shift because you are always there, but since you believe you are in this body-mind, you have to remove that base, that belief, which becomes a base
what appears.
Hmm?
The belief in what appears.
Yeah, but your body-mind is included in what appears. Yeah. Because when you see yourself, if you don't refer to body-mind, if you don't refer to time, you see, what's your age? Even everybody in the Sangha, it's like that. Oh, I don't feel the age of my body. But then, because of this a bit of the mind, they say, I feel much younger. No! No! You have no age. By nature, you don't have any age. You see, we are bound to automatism of the mind. You are not old, so I am young. No. Ageless. We can experience it with our own body-mind. I don't feel what the age of that calendar. Then what? How come? How come? Must be something else then than the body and the mind. Oh, you too. Thank you very